It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a wonderful lady deep in the heart of Texas, and she has an EP called Tomorrow featuring Joe Vitale from the Eagles and Matt Starr of Ace Frehley, and she's also got a single out called The Best Revenge, dedicated to haters. She attended Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp with Paul Stanley, Rob Halford, Nancy Wilson, Cheap Trick, and more. She played the Whiskey Go-Go, House of Blues in Las Vegas, and more. And she's got a very special message out there for those who think you can't do it, you can't do it, but she'll tell you the opposite. And here to tell about live, ladies and gentlemen, from the deep of heart, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Suzy. Suzy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. So you've been in Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp with Paul Stanley from Kiss, Rob Halford from Judas Priest, Nancy Wilson from Heart, Cheap Trick. You played the Whiskey a Go-Go, House of Blues in Las Vegas. You have an EP out, which is called Tomorrow, and we're going to play the title track from that. You also had The Best Revenge, and you came a very interesting background, and we'll talk about your Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. But first of all, tell us how you got started.
Well, that's a long story. Because I was interested in music and from the time I could talk. You know, I was always loved to sing, loved music, and really, even though where I lived there weren't a lot of opportunities for that, I always thought that would be what I did when I grew up. But that wasn't what happened, so I kind of walked away from that idea and worked in PR and advertising as mainly a writer. I did some graphic design, but mostly writing, and worked a little bit in industrial television, and I managed a musical theater company for about 10 years. So somewhere along the line, I started getting back into just enjoying music and going out to shows and meeting musicians, more local musicians at that point, and hanging out with musicians and talking music. And one of them one day said, well, you're a writer. You used to sing. Why don't you write songs? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. And that was about 2007, I think, somewhere around there that kind of transpired. And then I bought a lot of books and spent a lot of time trying to teach myself how to write songs, and started working on that first EP, which was called The Best Revenge. And it took about 5 years of working with completely the wrong people multiple times.
Oh my.
So that's kind of how I got started in it.
That is so amazing, and we'll play that in just a minute here as well, too. And what's that one moment that influenced you into getting into singing or back into singing? The one precise moment?
I guess probably that idea of writing songs and just when I started writing the songs, I wasn't really thinking about what I was going to do with them. It was just kind of, I guess, something I wanted to do that I needed to do just to fill up an empty space that had always been there, I guess. And so I wasn't really thinking about at that point, where it was going to go. And since it went so well all those times, I definitely wasn't thinking about where it was going to go. But I'm glad that I did go back and pursue it.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like something you enjoy doing, second chances and everything else. We'll get to that. And who are some of your favorite artists and singers growing up?
Oh, how many hours do you have?
As long as you like me to. How's that?
Oh, because I grew up listening to the radio from the minute I got up until, the station went off the air at night, and listened to a lot of rock radio. I had friends who had even when I was a little kid, I had friends who had older brothers that were, we were playing dolls in one room and they were playing Frank Zappa and Steppenwolf and the Doors and all kinds of stuff in the next room in the 60s. And so I've been listening to a lot, especially, I guess, a lot of the darker, heavier stuff. But then I also love the Beatles, and, like I said, I could sit here and name things, and then I'd go, oh, wait a minute, I forgot so-and-so, because, like I said, I've just been a fan of music for a very long time.
That sounds like it, too. And, of course, we'll talk about your Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp experience and more. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Suzy, who has been, singing for quite some time. She played over at the Whiskey A Go-Go, House of Blues, and she's had a single out called The Best Revenge, dedicated to haters, and we'll be playing her title track tomorrow coming up as well, too, featuring Joe Vitale from the Eagles and Matt Starr from Ace Frehley as well, too. And let's talk about your Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp you had with Paul Stanley from Kiss, Rob Halford from Judas Priest, Nancy Wilson from Heart, and Cheap Trick as well, too. And tell us about your experience and how you first got involved.
Well, I first got involved because after all those years of trying to get that first EP done and it not going well at all, you get to this point and you go, okay, is the universe trying to tell me that I shouldn't be doing this because nothing is going right? It's just one big disaster after another. And right around that time, I got this email. I was already on their mailing list, but I got this particular email that Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp was having their first ever songwriters camp. And part of the deal was that the rock star counselor, who in this case was Joe Vitale, would listen to your songs and give you a critique. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take the rough mixes of what I got, and I'm going to go and I'm going to play it. And if they tell me I shouldn't be doing this, then I'll quit. But if they tell me, yeah, you should keep going, then I'll pick up the pieces and try to get this thing done. So that's really how I got started. And I did, I think, three different songwriters camps with them. They don't do those camps anymore. They kind of incorporated it into the part of the overall fantasy camp.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you never gave up even after your master tracks with a questionable producer disappeared. And I guess you kind of wonder what happened to the producer.
He's still around, but I'm not working with him. We'll just say that. But I was able to salvage what I had. Fortunately, we had been recording in my house on my computer initially, and so we had all those tracks. Of course, there were newer, better tracks that we had done in the meantime, but those I have no idea where they are, what happened to them. I think they went off into Never Never Land somewhere, but I picked up what I had, and I had one person I'd worked with that actually had been a good person to work with, and lugged my humongous CPU over to his house, and we salvaged what we could. We re-recorded the parts we couldn't salvage, and ended up getting the Best Revenge released probably maybe 6 months after I'd gone to that fantasy camp.
Wow, that is something, too. And, of course, speaking of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, a camper wrote a song based on his wife's death, and he gave to you the speech that his wife wanted to be read at the funeral, turned to lyrics, which resulted as Christine's song, and you can just tell us about that experience.
Yes, one of the people that was at that original fantasy camp, songwriters camp, he handed us all these pieces of paper because there were like 9 of us in a room, and we were doing kind of group songwriting and helping each other with songs that we already had. And in his case, he was a new songwriter, so he had I guess you'd say like an essay or something that he had written, and we're all looking at it, and we're looking at each other, and finally somebody asked, "Is this real?" And the song he had written we helped him write was called Rage. And it was about his feelings because at the time his wife had terminal breast cancer and had it for a while. And at that point they thought she had 3 months left. And so the song Rage was about his feelings about that. And she subsequently did pass after, several months after that camp. And so at another camp, about a year later, he comes walking up to me and hands me another piece of paper. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at him, and I'm going, okay, what is this? And he's like, oh, that was the letter she wrote to be read at her funeral. I want you to turn it into a song. No pressure. It took a while, but I finally did get it done. And I was getting ready to do a demo to send them, and I was like, it'd be really cool if I could get Joe Vitale to play on this. And so I sent him a message, and I asked him, I said, I know you're busy, because I think they were getting ready to go on tour, and so I said, whatever you want to play would be fine. If you want to do percussion, you want to do drums, you want to do keyboards, whatever, because he plays I don't even know how many instruments. And it's, whatever you want to do, I just know it would mean a lot to our friend if you would, play a little something. Well, 36 hours later, I get this fully orchestrated song that was just, the music was just gorgeous. And so I went in and did the vocals on it and presented it to my friend, and he and his family now have that song. So that was quite a work.
It sounds like a lot of work as well, too. And we'll talk about some of your experiences as well, too, like with Rudy Sarzo, Vinny Appice, Bruce Kulick, and more. And what's it like start a serious career after sharing the likes of Paul Stanley and Rob Halford? We'll get to that in just a minute. Listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Suzy from deep in the heart of Texas. She was in Rock and Roll Bandcamp. She's got a new EP called Tomorrow. We'll be playing the title track in just a moment here. She also worked on The Best Revenge, which is dedicated to the haters. And not only you're with Paul Stanley, Rob Halford, Nancy Wilson, Cheap Trick, and more, you also have breakfast with Rudy Sarzo, Vinny Appice, and Bruce Kulick. And suddenly, this happens when it comes to the table having breakfast. What exactly happened?
Well, we kept having tourists come up and want to take pictures with them is mainly what happened. And later on, I was like, why did I not get a picture with them? And I was like, because when you're around those guys, they're just normal guys. They're not divas or any of that kind of thing. And it was just like I was having breakfast with you or, any of my friends. And I just really didn't even think about that, I'm with 3 rock stars. I should get a picture with them. So, it's later, it's like, damn, why did I do that?
Oh, my goodness. And I guess the question is, what did you guys have for breakfast at the time?
I don't even remember. It was a buffet at a hotel in Vegas that we were all staying in for camp.
Oh, wow. Okay. You also play at the House of Blues as well, speaking of Las Vegas. And yes. Whiskey A Go-Go, you can just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the camps when I first started going were held in Las Vegas, and we did play at the House of Blues in Las Vegas. I think I did at least 3 camps in Las Vegas. I have trouble keeping count because I think I've done 10 now. So they kind of all start to run together after a while. But then they moved to Los Angeles, and the main Sunday night show, usually if the headliner plays with you at one of the shows, it's usually that Sunday night show at the Whiskey. This last time we also got to play at the Viper Room in addition to the Whiskey back in November when I was there. And we've also played at Buddy Guy's Club in Chicago, and we played at Margaritaville. I think it was in Tampa. I think Tampa, St. Petersburg. They had a camp down there. Joe Perry was supposed to be at that camp, but that was when he had his medical emergency, and he was not able to be there. But John Bonham was the other guest for that one, and he was there. So we did have a rock star there with us. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that Joe Perry is doing well now.
Well, that's good to hear. And of course, many people think you go years into touring in a van, hoping for a break. But in your case, that's not the case. What's it like to start a serious career after sharing the stage with the likes of Paul Stanley and Rob Halford?
Humbling, I guess. Because you get to, when you're with them, you've got big crowds and those kind of things. And when you're by yourself, you're by yourself. So, yeah. But it was a lot of fun getting to perform with those guys. Even though the largest venue that we were at was the Whiskey, it still was packed with people and was a really great experience. And all of those guys are just the nicest people. Again, just the, down to earth, nice people. I've done 2 camps with Rob Halford and the guys from Judas Priest, and we generally, because they perform with us at the venue, we do a rehearsal with them before, and I always let the band go in first because I'm the singer. I don't have any equipment. The microphone's already up there. They've got it plugged in, but the guys have got to get their everything set up. So I'm always at the end, and I'm short, and all the guys are usually taller. So they're walking up, and I can see Richie and Rob up on stage, and they're like shaking hands and saying hi to everybody. And then I noticed that I don't see them anymore. And the next thing I know, they both had seen me at the back of the line, jumped down off the stage, and run back to give me a big hug and tell me how happy they were I was back again. And I was like, I couldn't even believe they recognized me. Because I played with them a year ago, and I'm sure they've met a lot of people in between, so that was kind of cool.
That had to be, and of course, of all the musicians you've been up there, like I mentioned the names before too, who would you say was your favorite to work with?
Probably Rob. He's really, really a lot of fun to work with, and like I said, they're just so down. All the guys in Judas Priest are just the nicest people.
That had to be amazing as well, too. And we're going to get to your song tomorrow in just a minute. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Suzy, the veteran of the Rock and Roll camp as well too, and tour the likes with Rob Halford, Paul Stanley, and more as well too. Rock and Roll Fantasy as well too, and we got the EP out, and we're gonna play a title track. Here's Tomorrow from Suzy right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Drag myself out
Tomorrow by Suzy here on the Mike Wagner Show, and that is just an inspirational video, and I have to say is that, just watching it here on YouTube as well, too, just a couple of dogs, I guess, having their day, so you can just tell us more about the song and why you chose dogs as a theme to the video.
Well, the song is kind of one of those days all of us have where you didn't sleep well and everything's just going wrong, and you just hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day, because today sure as heck wasn't. And the person that I work with on my music videos, Paul Gervasi, and I were talking about it, and we decided, let's do something just totally different and crazy. And so it's a dog and a bunny, and the girl is a bunny and the other one is a dog. I don't know whether that was just the animal heads he had or exactly why it's a dog and a bunny, but it's a dog and a bunny. And I think it's a pretty funny, kind of different video.
It practically sounds like it as well, too. And also, what do you got upcoming as well, too, for 2020?
Well, Norman and my collaborator and I are working on new music already. So we'll have some new music out. And there's also, there are music videos for each of the songs that are on the EP. So we'll have 3 more music videos coming out at some point. I think the next one is going to come out at the end of January.
End of January. We'll be looking forward as well, too. And, of course, we have a few minutes with Suzy from Deep in Heart, Texas. She was in Rock and Roll Bandcamp and up-and-coming singer as well, too. And of course, they say that you get second chances. And I guess the message is that it's never too late to start anything you love.
That's true. Because I'm 62 years old and I'm still going after it.
And of course, you know how to rock. You do a great job. Just by the way.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, and what do you consider most defining moment?
Oh, probably this summer. I got to actually play at the Whiskey and play my own songs with a band that. Actually, Matt Starr, who plays drums on most of the songs, helped put together. And so I got to do my own songs there, because usually I'm there for fantasy camp and I'm doing somebody else's songs. So that was a pretty cool moment to get to perform somewhere like that and do my own songs.
Mm-hmm. That is great, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, again, I couldn't even start to tell you, because there's people who influence the style of music that I have, but then there's also songwriters that I like the way they write songs, but they're like, all right, I'll say one of them is Leon Russell, who is nothing like, my music on the surface, but I just love the way that he is with words, and how some of his songs are so simplistic on the surface, but then when you start thinking about, those simple phrases, they really mean a lot of different things. They're actually pretty deep when you really think about them.
That is amazing, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
If you don't ask the question, the answer is always no. But if you do ask it and it's no, you're no worse off than you were before. And sometimes the answer is no, but something that's even better. Or the answer is yes. So, you have nothing to lose by asking.
I like that, and I'll apply it to that as well, too. And Suzy, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again in 2020. And just to wrap up, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase your music?
They can purchase my music anywhere that you can purchase music. I'm on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, SoundCloud, pretty much you name. I'm on platforms I don't even know the names of. And I have a YouTube channel, which for some reason they will not let me change the name of. So it is Suzy Wilson Music. And you can go there and see the music video for Tomorrow and also the music video for Lies. And I think there's even a video of me and Rob Halford on there as well. And my website is www.suzymusicofficial.com. And you can find links to everything on there. And eventually there'll be a link to this broadcast. And let's see, what have I forgotten? I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, pretty much anywhere and everywhere.
That is amazing. Suzy, just want to say a big thank you for your time. Looking forward to having you again soon. And please do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love to have you back on again in 2020.
That sounds like a plan. I'd enjoy that.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.